People think it's stupid to boycott. I think it's smart because our black dollar means a lot.
This is why when y'all say black people can't come together, I just shut my mouth because y'all are showing out on this Asian boycott. Saturday, June the 6th, empty. Nail salons, empty. Y'all are showing out. Now, if you recall, he's the one that told us that we couldn't survive without any Asian-owned, stores in our community, and told us if we did a boycott, he would take away the laundry mats, right? They would not have laundry mats for us, as if we don't own washers and dryers in 2026. Now, some of you actually seem to be surprised at the Asian community, some of them anyway, that are really thinking that we're ignorant and too ignorant to have our own. Guys, don't forget about 2023. Do y'all remember in 2023 when they ended affirmative action? And that was in part to the Asian community. They let themselves be pushed to end affirmative action against the blacks. And people always say against the blacks as if we're the only community and we're the number one community to benefit from affirmative action. We weren't, but that's a discussion for another day. So in case you didn't know, the Asian American Coalition for Education, along with 60 other Asian American groups, got together and filed several civil rights law complaints against Harvard, okay? And they supported students for fair admissions. Now, if students for fair admissions sound familiar, that's because they are the ones who filed these lawsuits that went to the Supreme Court. President and fellows of Harvard College and also against University of North Carolina. They combined the two. They said that they felt it was so unjust. They were expected to perform higher to get into Ivy League colleges. And that's not the case for everyone, i.e. black people. They decided to do it in groups so that no one could pick out a specific Asian American to target. But the fact that there were 60 different groups along with the Asian American Coalition for Education speaks volumes. Now, once affirmative action ended, do you think there was a big surge of acceptance into Ivy League colleges for Asian Americans? No poochie pies. According to the Manhattan Institute, there was a 2% increase across the board of Asian Americans being accepted into Ivy League schools. However, there was a decline in Blacks and Hispanic enrollment. Like other communities, Asian communities seem to forget that they benefit from all the hard work that the Black community has done. And that's okay if you forget. We don't have to remind you because, baby, we just keep doing what we do, which is us. So I'm proud of all you guys standing in solidarity because they're basically calling us stupid as hell, and we're not.
If you're an Asian business owner who is offended or defensive, feeling some kind of way about this call to boycott Asian businesses by Black folks and by anyone who has a sliver of a conscience, really. If you are offended by it and feeling defensive, there's really simple fix to it. You could put a banner across your website that says you do not support bigotry, racism. You can literally do that with a couple of clicks. You could put a sign on the window if you have a brick and mortar business saying you do not sign up for the bigotry of Black people or anyone for that matter. Except that I know that a lot of you don't want to because you do support it, because you buy into the narrative.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you are all doing good. Now, today's topic is really generating a lot of discussion online. And whenever we talk about boycotts, it's just important for us to understand one thing, that a boycott is one of the most powerful tools that consumers have. So people may disagree on politics, people may disagree on culture or even social issues, but almost everyone understands the power of money. Yes, businesses pay attention when customers decide where to spend or not spend their dollars. You know, right now, many people online are arguing that Black consumers have enormous purchasing power, especially in industries like beauty, hair care, fashion, and even personal care products. Yes, And for decades, Black American and Black people in America customers have been a major customer base for beauty supply stores across America. Because of that, some social media users believe that if enough customers decide to shop elsewhere, businesses will immediately feel the effects. So let's get into these remaining clips. I'll be coming back with more commentaries.
I love what this Asian young lady says.
I have seen more Asian Americans being upset at the fact that Black Americans are threatening to boycott Asian businesses than I have seen Asian Americans speaking out against the murder of Cyrus Carmick Belton, a child who was murdered at the hands of an Asian man. And this has everything to do with race, especially when anti-Blackness is so deeply rooted in our community. I have said this a million times, and I'll say it as many times as I need to so you can get it through your thick skulls. The only reason why Asians exist in America in such a large population is because Black activists fought for our right to be here during the Civil Rights Movement. White people did not want us here. It's not enough for Asian people to just be not racist. You have to be anti-racist, and you have to be speaking out against these injustices, or else they'll continue to happen. We absolutely owe the Black community solidarity, and the sooner that we realize that we're not much different from each other is the sooner that real change starts to happen.
It is very refreshing when we see non-Black people stand up and be allies, and particularly in this situation, an Asian person particularly. And there have been many who I've seen on social media who are taking a stand and saying, yes, we were raised to feel a certain way about Black Americans, but also to acknowledge the fact that if it was not for Black Americans,
that's been spoon-fed to you your whole life. And I'll make another video on that soon. But right now, I just thought I would offer up a simple solution. That's all. I recently moved to Orange County, and I moved here for reasons of work and some personal things without really doing a deep dive of research on the type of communities that were here. I just knew that it was a lot of Asian people, and when I leave the house, nobody asks me where I'm from. So I was like, yeah, I love it. And then there's all kinds of Korean grocery stores and restaurants and stuff that just kind of fits my life in that way, right? I didn't realize how red it was around here. I didn't realize the level of bigotry and racism existing around here. So I came upon a website, or a TikTok account, I should say, that points out all the mega owners of these businesses. So I'll share that once I figure that out with technology. But in the meantime, if you're an Asian business owner who is not mega, who doesn't believe racism and bigotry and unaliving of children needs to exist in our society, just put up a little banner. Just put up a little sign. As simple as that. The rest of you, your time is coming.
We are seeing supporters of these boycotts say that the goal is not simply to hurt businesses. They even argue that it's about encouraging more investment in Black-owned businesses and also creating opportunities within communities that have historically contributed billions of dollars to the beauty industry. They believe that if consumers intentionally support businesses that reflect their values, it can help build economic strength and ownership. On the other hand, critics of these claims are asking an important question, that they want to know whether the reported impact is as widespread as social media is suggesting. Sometimes videos showing empty stores or declining sales can go viral, but they don't always represent an entire industry. That's why it's important to separate online narratives from verified data whenever possible. Anyway, what makes this conversation interesting is that it highlights a larger debate about economic empowerment. More and more people are talking about ownership rather than just consumption. Instead of focusing only on where money is spent, people are asking who owns the businesses, who controls the supply chains, and who benefits from the profits. And a lot of black entrepreneurs have entered the beauty industry in recent years, from hair care brands to cosmetics companies and online beauty retailers. There has been significant growth. Social media has made it easier than ever for consumers to discover and support these businesses directly. And many customers say they appreciate being able to buy products from brands that understand their specific needs and experiences. And at the same time, some people believe the conversation should be focused on cooperation rather than division. They are even arguing that successful businesses of all backgrounds can serve communities respectfully and fairly. And according to this perspective, the issue is not necessarily the ethnicity of store owners, but rather customer service, community engagement, and business practice. And one thing that nobody can deny is that consumers are becoming more intentional with their spending. And whether it's beauty products, whether it's groceries, clothing, or technology, people increasingly want their purchases to align with their beliefs and priorities. And this trend is not limited to one community. It's something happening across many different groups. And another reason this topic is attracting attention is because it touches on the idea of economic self-determination. For many people, economic independence is seen as a pathway to greater influence and stability. They even believe that communities that own more businesses can create jobs, they can generate wealth, and have a stronger voice in shaping their future. However, it's also important to avoid broad generalizations. Industries are complex and businesses are made up of individual owners, employees, and customers with diverse backgrounds. And conversations become more productive when they focus on specific concerns and solutions rather than treating entire groups as if they all think or act the same way. So, what we are seeing today is part of a much larger shift, and consumers are realizing that every purchase is a decision. Every dollar spent sends a signal about what products, services, and business models people want to support. And whether someone agrees with a boycott or disagrees with it, the fact remains that consumers' behavior can influence markets. And the bigger question moving forward is this: will these conversations lead to long-term changes, or will more people continue supporting black-owned beauty businesses? Will existing stores adapt and strengthen relationships with their customers, or will the debate fade away as the next viral topic takes over social media? Those are the questions many people are asking right now. And at the end of the day, economic power is something that gets attention regardless of politics or ideology. Businesses listen when customers speak through their spending habits, and that's simply how markets work. The real story may not be about one boycott or one group of stores. It may be about a growing movement of consumers wanting greater control over where their money goes and what impact it has. But those are just some of the reactions people are sharing online. What do you think? Do consumers' boycotts create meaningful change, or are they often overstated on social media? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future conversations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video. In this video, it's meant for educational purposes and commentary purposes as well. See you in the next one.